This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, welcome everybody, Bianconeri YYZ, to our very first recorded and official post-game meetup. So we are meeting right in the wake of Juventus Bologna, or Bologna-Juventus to be exact. Juventus just came off a hot 2-0 win, convincing win in Bologna. Everyone's excited. Everyone's excited about that. With goals by Ronaldo at the 23rd minute, and followed by maybe
Dybala.
10 minutes later, Dybala
36
with
minutes.
an 36 minutes. There we go. Absolute screamer from the outside of the box. So we're all very excited today to talk about a whole whack of stuff. This is not a podcast or anything like that. We just want to give it a little bit of structure, but what really matters is that we want to give a voice to all of you guys who are here, who have signed in and are ready to go. So we have, I think all the people that are on the call are actual the real deal members of our not only Facebook group but of the club itself. And if not, they're very soon to be anyway. So I think I see Mary. Say hi, Mary.
Hi.
Say hi, Silvana.
Hi.
Ramin, say hello.
Hey guys.
Hey, Ramin. I think I saw James as well.
Hey everybody. Good to see everyone. It's been too long.
Yeah, for sure.
There's James
Yeah,
with
it
real
has.
deal beer. And
There's
we also
sushi.
have, I think I saw, I think I saw Vito De Luca as well. Say hi, Vito.
All right, guys, you finally see my face behind the writing.
Yeah, there you go. And I see right now Anthony in my picture. Anthony Sharipa, how are you, Anthony?
Doing well. How's everybody? Good to see everybody.
Really good, really good. And the man behind the man who's our regista, the real regista in our situation is not Pianish, but Dan the Chico. Hi, Dan.
Hey,
Hey,
ciao.
Dan.
Hey Danny.
There it is. Sweet. So I don't think I've missed anybody. I think it's all of us that are on right now. Am I missing anyone? Anyone on
You
the phone?
missed me,
You sound like a robot.
Oh, there's Giuseppe. Awesome. Thank you very much for making it, Giuseppe. Just hot off of one of his videos, post-game wrap-up videos. How you doing, Giuseppe? Calling. What city are you in Belgium? Tell us.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning here, 2:10,
Yeah.
and I just
Yeah.
wanted to say hello to the Bianconeri YYZ family and go to bed. That's only what I wanted
Giuseppe,
to do.
I subscribe to you.
Oh yeah,
I just want you to know I
thank you.
subscribe to you.
No, really, it was really nice to have the family on the channel. It was
Awesome.
last week actually. It was super cool, and I said, okay, I will stay a bit awake to say congratulations for the win and hello to everyone, and I will go to bed. So enjoy it, guys.
That's fine, Giuseppe. Thanks for wishing us well. We appreciate you having you on.
Ciao, ciao.
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 Ciao,
Ciao.
Giuseppe. Thank you. All right, so let me see. There's a lot of nice little topics here. First off, just anyone who wants to come in and just talk about just in general how they feel after today's game. I know last time we did one of the we didn't record the last event, but we had a little bit of talk about right after the.
I guess I'll start.
Yeah.
I felt that the first 35 minutes were 36 minutes actually after Dybala's goal. I felt we were dominate, a lot of combination passes in the final third, which we've been suffering from for the past, I'll say 3 to 5 games. So the final third, the combination passes were fantastic. I thought Bernadeschi gave an extra push in the defensive end and the attacking end, which Costa is absolutely useless at for the past God knows how long, 7 years. I feel that our midfield in the defensive end struggled. I felt that they were a little more focused on the final third, which was a positive, but we suffered defensively after the 36th minute. Again, DiCilio, he was a bit of an issue on that side. But other than that, I think the second half we went back to the previous 3-4 games in the defense second half. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Also, so in the middle, intent on going on his own here. Orsolini just overruns it. It was a shame. It was great awareness. Soriano had made a great run to try and get up in support. Bonucci really easily there on the outside, just overran it. Want to get forward, Soriano.
Good play there.
Oh, I can see Vito now. Hi, Vito.
Hi.
Hey, Vito.
Hi.
I also feel the 4-3-3 with the players we have is a big problem, in my opinion. I feel that we don't have a striker, which obviously we sent Mandzukic and Higuain's injured. So technically a 4-3-3 ultimately becomes like a 4-5-1 because you have your two wingers coming back, which Dybala's playing as a winger.
Oh, now Sansone.
It's a big problem, in my
Foul
opinion.
there by Echo. In time. De Ligt has gone down. There's a flailing arm here from Barrow, but he was turned far too easily, De Ligt. From Barrow, he should have got return pass from Sansone. What's wrong with that? He's just shielding the ball. He's making sure that it can't get to the ball. It's got to be tough with the big centre half. Well, he's been a much criticised figure. This aimed at him in terms of Juve's less than perfect performances. He's gradually focused on those further forward and the fact they're over-reliant on Ronaldo. In a row that ends. I think it nearly didn't end.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So what are we listening to, the game?
Handed away by Dyke.
Oh, can you hear my connection? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're totally
What's
hearing
going
everything.
on?
Let me lower it. Sorry. I haven't
that?
watched the game yet.
Just mute it.
Who is that, Gianfranco?
Yeah.
You can't come unprepared.
Oh, I'm not. I'm watching right now.
That's unprepared, man. That's unprepared.
I wanted to ask everyone in
Yeah,
here.
I'll give you my play-by-play. Don't worry.
I wanted to ask everyone in here who was their star for the game. All 90 minutes, top to bottom. Who played the best out of all of our players?
Oh,
That's
geez. That's
I think
hard.
that's a tough one.
I'm gonna start by asking Rocco.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
I think Dybala played well until he left. I think Dybala, he played well until he left the game. But Bonucci was okay. Quadrado was okay. Pjanic didn't shine as usual.
Oh.
I'll give it to De Ligt for the total 90 minutes. I'll say De Ligt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was a
I
beast.
agree.
I was gonna
He
mention
almost
that.
scored own goal, but other than that,
Not quite. Besides that one little blunder, I think he
Yeah.
was like
He did
on
amazing.
point everywhere around the field, and his verticalization of the play to give it to Bernadeschi for the
Yeah.
touch to Dybala, without that ball and him running forward, sending it up. If that would have been Pjanic in that position, it probably would have went sideways. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, I'm happy for Bernadette today. I'm really happy for him because he was like sucking, and he did a really good job today.
Yeah, he had a good chance at the very end of the game to score too, and overall he had a good game. I mean, he was due for one of those eventually.
I think there was a lot more energy today, that's for sure. Like they looked a little bit more happy. There was something going on. There was just more energy. They were working off each other better. I don't know. I guess that defeat kind of motivated them to like start moving and organizing. And Sadi was actually on the side coaching them, which I'm like, oh, he's actually saying something now. So I think that
shouting.
Pardon?
He was shouting. We could
Yeah.
hear
So there's an obvious difference between the last two games and this. Well, last game to this game. It's like night and day almost. Like they were just so much energy. Like Ronaldo was moving. They were all just moving all over the place, and they were really like. It was so much more energy, and I wish that's the way they played the last game. Unfortunately, that was kind of like maybe that was a motivator for them to like, okay, guys, we got to wake up and, you know.
Yeah, I think they gave them the slap in the face. I think, you know, they react well. I think when the pressure's on, I think they tend to step it up a little more.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Anthony, but we also have to remember they came off playing Napoli and went to Bologna.
True.
So I honestly, I don't think they played overly well in the grand scheme of things. They have really good moments, but it was against Bologna, so I can't say much more than that. I mean, the level of competition is nowhere near an Inter or an Atalanta.
Like you're saying, Daniel, I think there's some positives to take from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Overall, I'm negative towards them because I don't think they've played well in the past, I would say, year compared to what we're used to them playing. We've been really lucky watching greatness, and this has been a bit of but I felt there was moments for sure that are improvements. But again, I think it goes back to the players. I'll be honest with you. I think the players are underperforming. I think the players are they kind of need a little bit of an overhaul if we're gonna be over the whole. I think there's maybe 6, 7 players that I actually would keep on that team moving forward.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, anyways.
Yeah.
But definitely some great moments.
For sure. Yeah, I won't argue that. I mean, overall, they did okay because they won. They got the 3 points, the most important part, especially in for the Scudetto. But only, I'd say, out of the whole 90 minutes, maybe 20 minutes positive, decent.
I think the sad thing is if we can play this bad and win the Scudetto, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying for a while, let's be honest.
And at what cost with the injuries today, too.
Exactly, yeah. Sandro Sert
and then the left back's gone. Danilo.
Stupid yellow card at the end.
It was very stupid.
I don't think it was a yellow card, to be honest, that last action by him. It was a foul, but it wasn't a yellow card. So I don't understand why the ref gave him a yellow.
I think it was because if he didn't impede on his run and he didn't knock him down, he would have been gone up the flank.
Correct.
So he had to call a card on that because he would have been free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they were coming almost at the same time to that area. So it could also be argued that the momentum took him there rather than he wanting to. So yes, a foul, but not a yellow. But I understand what you're saying. I understand that.
I think Rocky had a couple missed calls, so that might have been one of them.
Rocco, what's your name? You're on mute.
Yeah, Rocco, you're muted.
You're muted.
That's probably a good thing. No.
Nudge.
Yeah, a newbie question for GoToMeeting. I can only see 6 people right now. How do I go and see the others?
Yeah, how do we see everybody?
I only see 6
I
as
see
well.
9.
Are
Okay,
you on mobile or desktop?
We're on
Mobile.
desktop.
iPad.
Although
Let me
it
see
doesn't
if
give you.
No,
There
it's
should
only.
be a little menu that says you can do a little drop down, and it says view everyone, or it'll select who's talking or active cameras.
Yeah.
There's a little drop down menu.
Can you guys hear me now?
There you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been trying to come in like 60 times now, and
Oh my
and
god.
it doesn't even give me the option. It doesn't even give me the option to record, not to record, but to unmute myself. It was weird. Anyway, I went out, came back in. You know what? Instead of the best player, like I'll just give the most improved. To be honest, I was very impressed with the Chilio's play today, in terms of shutting down, in terms of offering up options on the left, taking men with him, giving Ronaldo space, covering Ronaldo. There are things that you never see from Alexandro. Like Alexandro's a lot more static, even though he's a far better player. So I really like the Chilio, but I also think that I was also impressed by Rabiot.
Yeah, I
thought
agree.
Yeah.
when most of the team was doing well, so up until like the 55th minute when we had the ball, and that's right, Vito, and like we had the the play in our hand. I think we were doing really great. Both him, so him being Rabiot, De Sciglio, and Bernardeschi were the three that everyone was looking at and being like, these guys are going to be the people that are going to mess things up today. But they were super. I thought, I mean, they didn't have like sorry.
Especially in the final third of the field, I thought they played
Yeah,
well.
yeah, no, they did really well. They didn't get. I wouldn't give them like a 7.5 or an 8, out of 10 kind of mark. But solid 6 all around. Maybe 6.5 for Bernardeschi. He played really well, and I don't know if I would go back to having Douglas Costa starting now with a Bernardeschi like this. What do you guys think?
I think they should pack his luggage, to be honest with you.
Who Douglas Costa?
No, he's too good of a player. You can't sell him.
Yeah.
He's been on.
He might be
he's
made
been
of
on a
glass, but you
Every
can't sell
club he's
him.
played on, he's been on a bench. Every club. There's a reason for it.
I think
Yeah.
Costa is best utilized off the bench when he's got fresh legs and he can take advantage of that speed and dribbling. I think from the start he hasn't always looked the same.
Agreed.
Mhm.
I love Lokomotiv Moscow.
Best performances off the bench.
Yeah. True. He's a super player, I think. Hello. So we have, I think Steph just joined. Hi, Steph.
Hi, guys.
Stefania.
Hi, Steph.
I can't see
Hey,
you. Hi.
Steph. I can't do either yet, but we'll figure it out.
Am
Can we?
Am I visible?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Very much so.
Can we actually have everybody on video for maybe a second, so we can maybe take like a screenshot of everyone saying hello or something like that? Is that all right?
In case.
Can Daniel? Don't worry. If the picture will be very small. So if your hair isn't camera ready, Vito,
I
it's
didn't
okay.
put any makeup on.
It's all good. The picture will be small. Whoa.
It looks like she's
Hey,
right.
we're all Juventini here. We're born ready. Come on.
Yeah.
That's right. Just don't call us for Champions League final,
Oh God.
Oh, you had to go there, eh? Oh.
I'm going to chime
That's
in.
the whole point, Rocco. You know that.
I'm going to quickly chime in with what Vito said, guys. I said I was going to be in, but I got a little bit of reprieve. The boys are in the bathtub right now, so I can take a bit of reprieve and pop in. I'm with Vito on the fact of Costa. He's best, like we saw at the Lokomotiv Moscow game. He came in and he was on fire for 15 minutes.
Super sub, for sure.
He couldn't touch him.
Oh, 100%.
Because everybody's tired, right?
Yeah, and he doesn't get he can exert his energy
Exactly.
within that time frame without getting injured, because
remember, Sadi said against the game against Milan in Milan for his Champions League, for the Coppa Italia, he said he got him out. He took him out because he was afraid that he was going to get injured past the 60-minute mark, and that's why he made that change. He was afraid, and then he said I made that cazzata with the triple change there as well, right? So Costa, you understand, we have a lot of guys that are made of glass, unfortunately. Ramsey, I worry whenever he's going into a contrast. Rabiot. Rabiot, you guys know, Buffon was one of his big proponents this year.
Absolutely.
He's a major factor of him being in Juve because he said he was an untapped talent.
He even got an 8 mil too.
Yeah, the issue is that he comes with his mom. No offense to Rabiot's mom, but like there's the issue there.
But is it him or his mom that says all of it?
I think that he's been spoiled. I
feel like it's his mom that says all this stuff.
But he's still got to play. He's still got to produce. Doesn't matter, mom or cousin or whatever.
His agent, right? It's his mom's agent, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's Sadi. I don't think he's Sadi's type of player, too. To be honest with you, I don't think that was something that the player that Sadi can put into his system. And there's a lot of square pegs into round holes that Sadi's not with.
But Ivan, to your point, like you're talking about, like players that we have. We often hear people say, "Oh, Juventus is so deep, right? We have so many players, blah blah." But like you said, so many of them are susceptible to injury, right? We have, like you said, Ramsey, Rabiot,
the legend, Khedira, the legend.
Khedira, that's right.
Oh God.
So where's this deep? How is this deep?
See, to touch what you guys were saying, Ivan and Rocco, in my opinion, the 4-3-3 that he wants to play, which is a great system. The problem is we don't have the players for this system, in my opinion. Okay, because ultimately we don't have the wingers, we don't have a number 9, so and we don't. It would be more essential if you played it in a 4-3-3 diamond rather than playing it a 4-3-3 flat.
Oh, exactly.
I think we have more of a 4-3-3 diamond prospect of this team, but 4-3-3 wide, our team is not equipped for it.
Shouldn't it be the coach's? Shouldn't it be the coach's idea to get the best out of all of his players?
But they don't play that rule.
The fact that we don't have that, I don't want to say the word, but that's not right.
My perfect formation is the diamond with Higuain up top with Dybala coming from the right into the left with his left boot, and Ronaldo on the left with his right boot cutting in. That to me is the ultimate as the trident, but with a diamond shape.
But even in the center mid, instead of playing that flat 3, because there's a lot of coverage to cover, it needs to be compact in the middle, and then your 2 wing backs are playing that wing role. It needs to be diamond. You can't play flat.
Yeah, flat. And another thing is we don't see and we don't recognize, in my opinion, when Higuain is. I'm a big proponent of Higuain.
Absolutely.
He's a workhorse. He comes back. He builds the play. He builds play.
Look at Benzema with Ronaldo, Real Madrid. Same concept.
Well, we had Manzukic let go.
Yeah, there you go. We had to touch. We had to touch that wound.
He made a comment today or yesterday, whenever it was. He said he would.
Sorry, just watching Dybala's goal.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the goal. Let's talk about Dybala's goal. What did you guys make of that? That was amazing, wasn't it?
I think the run off.
That was the Juve of old.
I actually think
that was the Juve of old.
The run off the ball was nicer than the goal.
Yes.
That's by Bernardeschi was beautiful. Yes.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
He's got to get involved.
The biggest critic.
I know. Right. Exactly, Stefani.
He actually almost scored 2.
Yes, right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he would have probably deserved it. I mean, I think he would have gone up a half a mark. He would have gone up like a 6.5 out of 10. Well, meanwhile, Gianfranco's just in. I don't know what's going on. Someone tickling Gianfranco.
I just want to point out whenever Dybala has a goal.
Buffon. He just hugged Buffon. I'm sorry.
I know Buffon's the best. Anyway, I just want to point out whenever Dybala has a goal, it's like so amazing. That's all I have to say.
Yes.
Thank you.
Just glorious.
That was an awesome goal.
That was just glorious.
Awesome.
Fans and no fans.
Guys, I hate to cut this short. I gotta put the kids to sleep, so I gotta.
Who's gotta go to sleep?
My kid.
Oh.
I have 2 small ones. My son won't go to
Yeah,
sleep without me. So
I gotta go to sleep too soon. So.
Yeah.
We'll do
Bye,
this.
bye, Vito.
Hey, bye, Vito.
Bye, Vito. Thanks for
Thanks for
coming.
coming, bro.
Bye, Vito.
Bye.
Ciao.
Sweet. So, what did you guys make? Honestly, I think that it's been 3 games in a row. In 3 games in a row, and we've conceded no goals. So, I mean, I've just jinxed us. But besides that, what did you guys make of the defensive work? And in the first half, some uneasiness by Szczęsny and some of those passes in the back. What the heck was up with that?
He was unsteady for the first half. He got a bit better in the second, but which is surprising because he's a goalkeeper of so many years, both in Roma, for Poland, before
Arsenal.
I don't understand why he was so hesitant.
Here's something to think about as far as Szczęsny. A few misplayed balls for sure, but where did the ball that came up that led to Dybala's goal come from? I'm pretty sure it came out of Szczęsny's hands and went right up the left flank, and then it broke out back to De Ligt, up to Bernadeschi, and then Dybala scored. So
ask Gianfranco, he will know.
Yeah, Gianfranco, what rewinded by 5 minutes? Tell us.
I attribute that to Sinisa Mihailovic's pressing soccer. They were a high press, and I think that they were antsy because of that, because they were a high press. He's a high pressing coach. That's you heard him on the pitch. You can hear him. Press, on him. Come on, die.
Yeah, that's all I can hear right now.
You heard Mihailovic press, and he was forcing the team to press high. So I think that, when you're hearing the coach and you're hearing such clear commands, that also gets into your head as a keeper, as a defender, just saying, oh, wow, this guy's telling me press high, that works into your psyche to play the ball a certain way incorrectly. Was it shaky? Yeah. But, at the end, I'm going to say the reason why we've had clean sheets is not because of Bonucci, it's because of De Ligt, to be honest with you. Yeah. He's an absolute stud. I'll say it again. He is the real deal. He's worth now 150 million. Forget about 75 or 100. He's 150
We got him
million.
for a steal. We got him for a steal for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, I think you're right. De Ligt was superb, but before we move on to him, I just wanted to touch upon. Funny you went there because I was going to go there myself. I was going to talk about the fact that how we played today and how well we played today, I think, is a little deceptive, because the gameplay against Saudi is sit on top of your, park the bus, shut down all the spaces, especially if you have a half decent team who will listen to your tactical advice. And whoever Saudi's coaching will not be able to break you down. And then you hit them hard on the counter. And that's how we lost to Hellas, to Lazio both times. Napoli basically did the same thing. We got away with that. Like with Bologna played more open. Like you're right, they played press. And so it was easier to break them down. So do you guys think that this, this is a breakthrough, or do you think we're going to have the same issues in the future?
No, it could be. It could be a problem with Napoli. Their passing is very precise, whereas Bologna had a lot of missed passes that Juve intercepted and managed to make into attacking action. But Napoli, Inter, even and big teams, big teams can really put a screws on. Defensively, we have to be good. Again, we've come back to midfield. Midfield has to be strengthened.
Anyone else want to come in, talk about our gameplay? Or do you guys think this is the eureka moment, or are we going to see some more of this trouble further down the road if teams play us closed down?
I think if this was any other year, this was, mid to late season Serie A while we're fighting other battles, a 2-0 win over Bologna, we'd be saying nothing. It's business as usual. We got the 2 points. I think because we haven't scored a goal to this point, it's extenuating circumstances all over the world, all over things. I think we're super critical. We missed the hell out of them. I think we're nitpicking a little bit, and I know, we're seeing it in England as well, and we saw it at the start of the Bundesliga as well. It does take a few games, no matter how much and how good your training was. So I'm a little concerned with our, red card and injuries in the left back, but, we will survive. DeSiglio, thank goodness he's still around. As much as I've shat on him in the past or been critical of him, but I think onwards and upwards. Ronaldo actually hit his pen. Dybala does what Dybala does. Masterclass, so I think today was just business as usual.
So before we move on to that, and I'll give people one more chance to maybe talk a little bit about tactics and counter tactics if you're interested. If not, who would you guys play for left back next time? Because we have now exhausted Alexandro. He's injured. De Sciglio, I think, played probably one of the best games he ever played for Juventus, and then runs off with a hamstring injury. And then we get Danilo, who comes in to replace, and he gets a red card. So who would you guys play at left back? And I'll give you what my answer is in the end.
Me.
I'm gonna say
sounds good.
Yes.
I think it'll be Matuidi and possibly the under 23 player Pietro Verratti. I think it's Verratti. I don't know.
Berwato, same. Yeah, Berwato. Yeah.
I think it'll be Matuidi. I recall him playing there when we had a similar issue with injuries and suspension. So I think it'll be Matuidi.
So, all right. So, I mean, I think you're right. I think if the precedent is true, we will see Matuidi back again, right there as a left back. But here's my question. I mean, would you guys risk Bernardeschi there, considering the guy's been knocked around in every single position? And now he finally seems to have found his spot. Go ahead, Gianfranco seems to be visceral about this. Go ahead.
No.
And then
keep him as far away from our goal as possible.
But he's not.
I was happy
is
for
not
him today. He did good.
One
what did
game.
Stefania say? I missed it.
Oh,
Stefania.
0.
I think
I think.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
0.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And Anthony was trying to say something.
He's always losing whoever he's attempting to.
Yeah, I would.
So, to throw him in defense, no way. He can't even box, right? So, no, really. Does anyone disagree with that?
I want a screenshot of Gianfranco. That's all I want. I want a screenshot of Gianfranco laughing. Immediately will put me in a good mood.
I was out a bit. I guess we're talking about left back and who's going to sit there, who's going to play there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Another. So I'm counting the mistakes Sadi's made this season. I'm counting them because they're ranking against them. This is
you
where
be running out of paper.
Yeah, this is.
Oh God.
This is Bladen
You're killing the Amazon, bro.
This is Kurzawa territory. He makes the Kurzawa deal with De Sciglio, and he could have that issue taken care of. with PSG. The Levin, what's his name? Levin Kurzawa? Is that what his name is?
Yeah.
Kurzawa, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's another issue. Okay. I'm not saying Paratici's perfect, but DeShilio played half decent today. But I'm not enamored with him either. I'm not. So I think that there was a misstep there, and Paratici appeasing Saudi, saying, no, I don't want this player, right? So
Interesting. Okay, so it looks like I'm thinking it'll be Matuidi and maybe Berwato might get a little bit of part time. And so Bernardeschi, would you guys start Bernardeschi next game as at the same position, the top three up top, and bring on DC?
We're not going to have a choice.
Gianfranco's eyebrow went up like Ancelotti. Ancelotti was like that. That was crazy.
That was the best he's looked in months.
I wouldn't start him as a sub. I really wouldn't start him as a sub. I think it's time for him to leave.
Douglas Costa.
But I mean,
no, I would rather keep Douglas Costa than Bernardeschi. I thought Bernardeschi getting his long blonde hair back would change something. Same old.
It's more hair dye, so it's heavier, so he can't move as well.
Today, guys, he did look positive. He was in the play. He was engaged.
Yeah.
He was dynamic.
I think Peroxide does his brain well. Does his brain good,
Listen, guys.
He is playing better.
Him and Dybala were giving them fits. Dybala and him were giving them fits today. It was CR7 was flat again today. He was flat. But he doesn't like being the number 9. He doesn't like being that.
No, but I would rather Douglas Costa in that role than Bernardeschi. Those two play it so much better. It's more beautiful. It's the type of soccer that we've all been asking for years.
The issue is Douglas Costa won't go into certain contrasts a certain way that Bernardeschi plays it. Bernardeschi will go into a harder contrast, whereas no offense to Costa, he's not that player. He's not a contrast player. Bernardeschi plays that contrast, right?
I mean, guys, we're gonna be playing Lecce. I mean, with all due respect, right? We're gonna be playing Lecce.
Yeah, watch out for Lapadula.
Watch
out for him.
I don't trust you. That's why I don't trust
you. Got injured today.
He got hurt today, so Lapadula got hurt. He got hurt.
Who got hurt?
Lapadula.
He did. Oh, that's why he wasn't playing. I didn't watch that game.
Your namesake got injured.
How many of us will be watching that Dea game tomorrow with Lazio?
I will.
Oh, big time.
That'll be a good match. That'll be a good match for sure.
Well, they're playing at Atalanta, so it's not going to be easy for them.
No, and if we had fans, I would say it would be nearly impossible for them. Inter has come out of Bergamo with their bones broken, as they say in Italian, very often. It wouldn't surprise me if they don't come away with the 3 points at all. But what do you guys make? You guys think that Lecce today lost? Gave up 4 goals against Milan. Do you guys you guys think they're gonna come back and be like, okay, we're gonna go back to the drawing board. I'm gonna mistreat my boys, Liverani said, and they're gonna come back really hungry, really tight at the back over there. You think we're gonna have trouble against Lecce, even though they're gonna come to Torino?
It could be.
My prediction is gonna be pretty scrappy. It'll be scrappy. It'll look fairly similar to our gameplay today.
Okay.
I'm taking it as the little positives in every game at this point, because we've been off for so long that just collecting the 3 points and keeping forging ahead towards the Scudetto is important. But I think it's going to be scrappy. It won't be I don't think it'll be a 4-goal game for us. They might turn it around and play a little better, but it's not likely.
I think we'll probably play down to them like we usually do with the bottom feeders.
True. True.
I think it'll be similar to
Interesting.
today. I agree with you. I think it'll be very similar to today.
A 1-0, maybe a 2-1 win,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. 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 I could see it as like the game that we played at home against Bologna, for example. You know, it was 1-0. Then Danilo scored. Remember the Bologna's Danilo scored a streamer against Buffon, and then we came back and we scored 2 goals. Made it when we took all 3 points home for a 3-1 win. But we'll see. I'm expecting the same 2-1. Honest, I'm expecting us to give up a goal but to still end up winning the game. Yeah, it's going to be scrappy, especially if they park the bus. And trust me, like Lecce plays more open at home than they do away from home, right? Today against Milan, they were giving it. They were trying to take the game to Milan, but it ended up backfiring, right? And they gave up a load of goals afterwards. Okay.
Sorry, you said the Lazio game is tomorrow. It's Wednesday, isn't it?
That's what I thought. I said, wasn't it Wednesday? Yeah.
I thought it was tomorrow. I thought it was tomorrow. My mistake.
All right. Well, that's the first time that Mary gets a game right.
Because of this. It's because of this.
Rock, you guys are calling. You guys are calling it close against Lecce. I'm going to say that it's going to be, even though they're going to try to park the bus, I'm thinking Juve is going to open them up. I think Juve will open them up. I'll say it's 4-0.
Ooh, 4-0 Juve.
Yeah.
What, doppietta di Bernardeschi or what? Bernardeschi on a brace?
No.
Just for
Hat trick.
for Gianfranco. For Gianfranco, hat trick. Okay, bro. If Bernardeschi gets a hat trick, Gianfranco, if Bernardeschi gets a hat trick, you're shaving your beard.
Ooh. I would say if he gets
good odds.
I would say if he gets 1 goal, I will shave this.
Oh, all right, man. It's on. We're gonna come back.
Wow, you have no faith in him whatsoever.
No faith, none.
Being recorded, so we have.
Wow.
I'm gonna cut that clip in his video and send it to Bernardeschi. I'll follow him on Twitter. You're done. I'm sending it to him.
How about this?
Rock. We'll make a video. You shave it.
Gianfranco, how about this? 1 goal, beard. 2 goals, 1 eyebrow. 3 goals.
Oh, if he gets a hat trick, I'll shave my head. If he gets a hat trick, I'm shaving it all.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Not
the eyebrow.
Hang on. So, time out. You're gonna do that live on the next reaction video if he does score a goal. The beard.
100%.
Whatever. Goatee. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
1 goal. 1 goal for the goatee. 3 goals for the head.
So I'm gonna say the 4 goals come from.
I'm with Danny. You gotta shave the eyebrows, man.
Yeah. I say you're shaving your beard. Your goatee. Not the head.
Don't let him up that easy. Come on, girls. Get in there. Don't let him up that easy.
If he gets a hat trick, I'll shave my head.
All right. Okay. Just let them settle down, Ivan. Go ahead. Yeah.
You grade Saturday up until this point.
I'm sorry.
Say that again.
Grade Saturday up until this point, even with COVID break. The
COVID break. Grade Saturday.
Grade him.
Great. Give him a
vote. Like a 5 out of 10. 5, 6.
I was thinking 4 or 5.
5, 6 out of 10.
5 or 6, same. Yeah, passable. That's so far. That's it.
So I know in our last video, I came out and pretty much it was actually with Giuseppe. Our video, our chat with Giuseppe, that I came out and said he doesn't last the season. I'm of that notion still. I know Juve doesn't let go of their bench boss, but this is a different season of all others. This is a whole different scenario.
Yeah.
Right. And they're not. This is going to end in August, and then it starts in again. This is a whole different set of rules. because of what.
You're forgetting the elephant in the room is Ronaldo, whether he leaves or stays for the next season. Because, well,
No, he
because
stayed.
He will
well,
stay.
you're saying he stays, but if Sarri doesn't really do well in Champions League, and he's clearly not doing well at the moment because we're all rating him low, it's every chance that Ronaldo leaves, unless the board can find a better coach.
Yeah, they're not going to risk Ronaldo for him. That's for sure.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
But let's be fair. I don't think that Ronaldo will leave after. Like, I don't think he will leave until the summer
He does
2021. Like, summer 2020. He's gonna stick around for 3 years, and after the end of his third year, even though he has a 4-year contract, that's when Juve might be looking to, like, okay, let's let him go. He has 1 more year in his contract. If they can monetize that and rid themselves of a 60 million euros in salary, they might do it then. Just considering his age and everything, right? If they're gonna get anything out of it, that's when it's gonna be. Otherwise, then they'll just see it to the end of the 4-year contract and part ways then. It depends. There's so many variables right now, and the thing is, Ronaldo, even if Ronaldo is in poor form, still attracts and retains a lot of good talent from everywhere just by being on the team. Because people, like, what do you think De Ligt's here? Do you think De Ligt's here because you're special? Like, I want to play with Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And I want to build a team that goes far and makes it. I don't know. So yeah, I don't rate Sarri that highly. I haven't seen this Sarri ball. I'm still to this day very doubtful. But let's remember, we're still in a warm-up phase, as James alluded to earlier. We have 2 games in our legs that and Bologna had 1. We're gonna make good of this head start that we made on most teams, and we have 11 games to go in order to consolidate that spot, in the hopes that we can bring home the Scudetto, and then when August rolls around, we got to do our job against Lyon. I'm telling you guys, if Lyon shuts down the faces like Napoli did, it will be very difficult for us to pass and even squeak that little goal by in order to tie the aggregate score. I'm not to this day. I don't want to think about it. It's too far out in the future. But once in a while, I think about Champions League, and this is what I think about. We have 90 minutes of unfinished business with Lyon.
Yeah. I think though, with the Champions League level, I think of the CR7 effect. He just raises, how they say, the laticella in Italian. He just raises the bar, and he's a game player. When it's these games that are okay, it's the Coppa Italia, which he would have loved to win the Coppa Italia, I'm sure of. But the Champions League for him is just like, it's in his blood, is in his nature. It's what he gears up for. You see it in his face.
Yeah.
Right. So I just think that he's gearing himself up to that, in my opinion. So I'm hoping for that.
Sweet. Gianfranco, your volume's on again. We're gonna make you talk though.
Hold on, let me lower it. Hold on, just let me.
Head guys, who has like the fixtures list in front of them?
Not that hard. I can get that done. So we're playing Lecce next, then Genoa, and then Torino. There's a derby. Are you looking at just us or what?
Yeah, almost, eh?
Yeah, we have Lecce, Genoa, Torino, Milan, Atalanta, Sassuolo, Lazio, Udinese, Sampdoria, Cagliari, Roma, and that's it.
Yeah. So,
hey guys, Lazio doesn't have it easy for 2 games, eh? You know the second game isn't, right? Not easy.
Is it Fiorentina in Florence or away? In Florence, I think.
They could. Hold on.
No, we're playing at home. It's a home game.
They're playing Lazio at home in that game, but it doesn't matter. Fiorentina is no pushover. That would be easy for them.
Honestly, I think they would have a harder time in Torino against Torino than at home against Fiorentina. Fiorentina's been largely inconsistent. When they play us, it's game of the year. But when
Everybody
honestly,
plays
I've been
like
very
that.
disappointed.
Yeah.
True.
It's true.
And everybody's
Anyway,
goalkeeper.
I'm mindful of time, guys. I know we're coming up on the hour, top of the hour. So I just wanted to give everyone one last kick at the can. Final thoughts. What the prospects are for the rest of the season? Are they looking any brighter, or are they the same or worse than when we talked last time? Or just whatever you guys want to say in general. Just I don't want to talk COVID or or global events, please. Thanks.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll go first.
they played a little bit better than the last two games they played, although they were for the cup. But hopefully they just get that momentum. The only issue is that if we have to play someone like Matuidi, which brings him out of the midfield, we're going to have to play someone like Ramsey from the beginning. Now that can be a bit of a risk because he could get injured or he could not last the whole game. So the issue is whether we have enough players now to fill in the missing players.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Steph, and then I'm gonna go to Silvana. Go ahead, Stefania.
Yeah, same as Ramin. I mean, we have Matuidi, who is going to have to play left back. I mean, we have zero other option. So I think that it means that we're going to see Berna start alongside Rabiot, and then see what happens there. Because I think Ramsey is exactly a bit of a risk.
Okay. Silvana, and then Mary.
Well, I know they played Bologna, which is a smaller team, but I feel that gave them some more confidence. You just saw Ronaldo's face. He wasn't frustrated like you saw him in the last game. So I think this game helped them say, okay, you know what? We can play like this. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start winning, and this is the way we're gonna do it. And unfortunately, with our left back, we don't have the choice. So
hi, Peter.
Hi, Peter.
Peter.
So I think this is a positive sign. I mean, it's not like they didn't play like amazing, but they played a lot better, and I think this is a positive sign for things going forward.
Okay. Cool. All right, Mary, then Gianfranco.
In all fairness, just so I say today, I didn't get to watch the entire game because I was at work. So I was doing a lot of rewinding. So I can't get the full effect. However, I'm positive, and I think they'll do okay. They might not be where we want them to be or expect them to be, but I think they'll come around. I believe in them. That's it. I believe in them.
I love your positivity.
I always
love
do.
your
I believe.
positivity.
I'm good.
I love the positive.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's it.
So okay, so Gianfranco, then James. Go ahead, Gianfranco.
Well, to go off like Stephanie's point, why don't we play Costa at left back? He's fast enough as a wing back. His only issue is he wouldn't be able to defend, but Cordaro can't do that either.
And also Douglas Costa.
Yeah.
Glass.
It's like, what?
Look at Gianfranco starting shit right at the end. Yeah, we're just trying to wrap this thing up. This guy's starting new fires. Come on.
Comes up to here to the league. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh.
Anthony,
all right,
we
James.
didn't hear anything from you.
Well, we're coming around. James, and then I'm gonna go Anthony after James. Go ahead, James.
Nothing that nobody else hasn't said already tonight. I think, like Mary said, gotta stay positive. today we scored some goals. We made it look like how this type of game should look. Even we shut them down completely. We could have probably made it 4 or 5, but the guys looked like they were having fun. And I always noticed that any team where the guys are having fun together playing, they're always performing better.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's still too early to say anything, but let's see. I think Serie A, we're going to, I'm knocking on wood, but I think we're safe. But we got bigger fish to fry, right? So, let's see how we build towards the next Champions League return leg or the second leg. And yeah, like Mary said, stay positive. We got a good team. I'm wishy-washy on Sarri. I think we could play without a coach in the first place, the way it's been the last year. We kind of have it, even like with the tail end of Allegri, but that's a whole nother thing. But I know we're over time. But this was a lot of fun. I don't think I'd join these types of things unless it was you guys, because I hate these for work. So we'll see.
All right.
And we'll see, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday or the next game.
Awesome.
The Friday, yeah, for sure. So next we have Anthony, then I got Dan, Peter, Ivan, and I think just myself is left. Go ahead, Anthony.
Sounds good. Yeah. So, okay. I think generally, yeah, I agree with everybody. I think it's going to be, it's going to be business as usual for this. I think we're going to win it. I don't think we'll have too many issues. It'll be close with Lazio and Inter, but I think at the end of the day, we'll win it. Like, in terms of our form, I think back to like Sarri last year, even at Chelsea, it was an up and down season for them too. You remember all the issues they had with the goalkeeper not coming off and the substitutions and all these stories about all these arguments.
Yeah.
Kepa, yeah, that's it. And there's all these things, rumored to be going on. And at the end of the day, they won the Europa League. Not saying, Champions League obviously is another level of the Europa League, but, I'm not particularly optimistic for the Champions League. But at the end of the day, I know once the game starts, I'm going to be, I'm going to, I think I'm going to go for the win. Obviously, I think we're going to have a chance. So, I'm going to be optimistic. I'll say, I think we'll win the Scudetto. I'm anxious to see how we do in Champions League, but that's still a while away. Anything can happen until then. So we'll see.
All right. So Dan next.
All right. So my point of view on the next few games, tailing out to the end of the season, we have Lecce next and Genoa. Those are more or less going to be tune-ups for our Derby del Mole against Torino. Then we're running into a tough stretch of matches. Torino, then Milan, Atalanta, Sassuolo is always dicey for us, and then Lazio. And that's going to be the game that's going to decide the Scudetto likely at that point. And
bang on.
Those 4 games consecutively are going to be the make or break. If there's any sort of slip-ups in that area, I don't have a lot of confidence that that Lazio is really going to slip up. They're gonna keep getting their points. It's going to be neck and neck. We need to use the next 2 games, ramp into Torino, and then keep going on the ascendancy. Champions League is always a dream, but maybe with only playing 1 leg, we might get a lucky break and make it to the final. And if we make it to the final, hopefully we're not perennial losers and we snap that and take home the trophy. The COVID-starred asterisk trophy this year. That's what'll happen. All of our detractors are going to say, oh, well, coronavirus trophy, Juventus finally won. That'll be the Interistas, the Romanistas, the Milanistas. They're all going to say that. So be prepared.
Let them talk.
If we do win.
Let them talk. All right. So Peter just joined us very late, but thank you for joining us anyway, Peter Pete.
Sorry about that.
Peter Pete. Yeah. No problem, man. You're welcome. You get your 1.5 minutes of fame, and I'm gonna put Ali in there as well, who I just noticed. So I'm gonna put him right after Peter. Go ahead, Peter, first.
So sorry for coming late. I just got off of the call with TFC front office. So for the game, I pretty much watched the first half, all of it, and then half of the second half. But honestly, I feel like our team it was better. Of course, the first game, like the first game of the season, was better than what we played in the Copas. But like our game is really slow. We're really hoping for a penalty to change the game up. Like it seems like this is what's going on right now. Is like we're getting a penalty. Okay, now we're up 1-0, and then let's go. Let's start attacking the players. It's like we're not catching them earlier. I know we got unlucky with a few chances. Our midfield is still not complete, even though we have 100 midfielders, but we're somehow missing something. We're throwing all our midfielders in our defense and our wing backs and all that, but I feel like we're still missing something. That's for sure. But I like that idea of having Costa on the wings. I know he's a glass, but
Oh my God,
but under that, I'm gonna post a picture on the group chat about sorry. He's accomplished something is by ruining how Juve plays, but that's my
finally coaching on the side.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all right. Peter comes late. Peter comes late, but he always gets the conversation going. He starts a new fire right at the end. I love it.
I love
it. Ali, I got you next.
Yeah, so honestly, I was working, so I looked at the highlights, and from what I saw, like it was nice, but again, like relying on historically speaking, this year, like what's caused us to go forward, as Peter said, has been penalties, and what I think, and I always think this season, what we've been missing is creative midfielders. That's why I've been so crazy and adamant about the prospect of getting someone like Cruz or Rakitic, even for we had this ability, but it's not happening. And we have Ronaldo for the next 2 years or so, and we need to capitalize on that. I mean, the guys come into our franchise and it's just changed everything. I mean, look at the numbers; they speak for themselves. How much business revenue we've gotten, followers, the ripple effect of him being there. We need to capitalize. Otherwise, we're going to be the laughing stock of football if we don't win anything. I mean, we're the only team in the world that has 7 Champions League final losses. I don't give a shit about the league right now anymore. Pardon my French, but I just want them to win the Champions League. That's it. I don't care if they finish third in the league. If they win the Champions League, that's a successful season for me. 7 final losses. That's painful. Every time we're sitting down with our friends who are Madrid supporters or something, they're like, "Come on, man! If only you guys won your finals." That's a painful fact. I think this season the only target should be Champions League, and I don't know what to say about Sarri. Sarri needs it's either his way or the highway, and he needs his players. He doesn't have those players, and we have a beautiful attack. We have one of the best, if not the best, defense in the world, and absolutely in the top 10, 5 teams, we probably have the worst midfield. All defensive midfielders, 0 creative midfielders. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for that. It would be something though if we do win the Champions League in one of the most controversial ways, given COVID, but also given just the way the season's going. Completely weird. Nothing's clicking. The team is yet to find the eureka moment. Sarri's still trying to force feed his tactical formation onto the team and onto the players. Just no, now we had like a mini war start. Pjanic is touched 36 balls today and usually touches over 100. Terrible. But yeah, that would be just the oddest thing ever. And yet, given the fact that there's basically would be 3 or 4 games left, it's something that's totally possible given the fact that we have such open play in the Champions League, and Juventus I think would thrive in an open play type situation and those kinds of games. So I don't get a go around. That was me. I think we only have Ivan left to do that, and we can just wrap it up for tonight. Go ahead, Ivan.
I'm gonna make a couple predictions as my final parting. It's the way I be. I like predictions, and if they work, they work, and if they don't, they don't. I'm calling it Lazio stumbles in the next 2 games. They haven't played.
Boom.
Okay, so they're rusty, so they're stumbling. They're not winning.
And they're playing Atalanta, who played yesterday.
Yes, and who's hot.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
They're good, and they have Gasperini. I don't care what anybody says. The best coach in Serie A, 100 million%. That's my opinion. Saturday, I'm hoping, and guys, you can help me out with this. But I'm hoping that they're saving Higuain or resting him until they need him, because these games aren't as big as the games that come up with that stretch that Daniel came up with, because that's where the dirty work is going to happen. And he likes to get dirty in the top and in the mid. He comes back, he picks up the ball, he makes the plays. I'm hoping, and then he'll have more options to play from with the midfield and also with the attack. You know, Pjanic is checked out. It's clear. Body language does everything. We've heard that the Pjanic-Arthur deal is slowly making its progression because Juve's up the ante with the wage. So, you know, those are my predictions. Juve will probably have, in my opinion, a 7-point lead in 2 weeks' time or less than.
Wow,
I like
okay. Well, that's
I like the way you think.
And if that's
hot take.
And if that's the way, then you can let the guys heal. And this is where I get one of the youngsters. And we made a mistake. Pellegrini should have been up with us this year, not waiting for him next year.
Yeah, that's excellent.
And you know, I love your jersey.
Right up.
Team,
right
team,
up.
Here we go.
Yeah. So right before we leave, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who signed on. It looks like that Pjanic and Arthur trade is gonna happen if things are just warming up with a few days left. I think the next thing that's going to be a problem is going to be just how each player is valued, because that's a big deal in terms of the plusvalenza and all that, the accounting, they call the accounting profits. So that should be interesting to see over the next few days. I just want to thank everybody who joined us for our first recorded call, everyone for being on. I want you guys to just wave. Maybe we can take like a little screenshot, just hey, everyone's happy, everyone's having a good time. Yeah.
You have to smile.
So,
no.
Sure. You don't have to.
You don't like to smile in pictures.
That's rough.
You're
I know
exempt.
it's a tall order.
You're exempt.
We had 14 guys. We had 14 people on this call, not all at the same time. Some people came in and out, but 14 people overall. I think that's an astounding success for a group of 43 members. That's crazy. That's more people in terms of that showed up today that show up to some AGMs of some other clubs. But I'm just looking forward to seeing Gianfranco shave his goatee live in the next post.
I hope so.
After
for sure.
Just for all of those that just signed in right now. Maybe Peter and Ali didn't hear it, but Gianfranco agreed to. He's so down on Bradeschi that he said if Bradeschi scores a single goal, then he's gonna shave his goatee. So you know that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. All right. So until then, we're just gonna hit stop on the recording. Just wanted to say thank you again to everybody. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bianconeri.
Good night, everyone.
Ciao, guys.
Take care.